The following podcast is considered for a mature audience and should only be listened to by an adult. If you're not an adult, please go and get an adult so that you can watch them as they try to awkwardly explain all of the dumb shit that we're about to say. Listener discretion is advised.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 102, we're securing our tinfoil hats on the top of our heads. Are the days numbered for the male of the species? Things are heating up in this week's movie review, and much, much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming to you from the future home of Super Bowl 60. It's the Waffle Box, the original Waffle Box, the People's Podcast. You accept no substitutions because it is the best part of Wednesdays. Mike Fish, I'm having a fantastic week, dude. How have you been?
Ooh, I've been suffering. I'll be honest. I've been suffering.
What's wrong?
I am.
Holler at your boy.
Yeah, the ailments of getting up there in years. You know, I'm no spring chicken.
Sure.
And so on Saturday night, apparently I slept a little awkwardly, I guess. And so over the past few days, I've been becoming close friends with a man named Bengay. Oh, my shoulder has been killing me. And then today I had to go to the dentist. And for those that have been keeping up with the tales of my dentist visits, obviously my fine dentist, shout out to Your Dental in Manhattan, they have been trying to fix my British teeth, and they've been doing a fantastic job, if I'm being quite honest. But so basically every time I go, I'm sitting in the chair for like 2.5 hours while they're drilling and retouching up stuff and things like that. So like I woke up this morning, the neck was feeling a little bit better, but then after like 2.5 hours sitting without being able to move in a dentist chair, it came right back.
Well, you also have the stress of being operated on in your mouth, like, and having to hold still. So muscles are extra stressed out at that point. Like, even if the dentist is very good, like, it's a stressful position, no matter how comfortable they make it, man. Like,
well, yeah, because they numb the mouth, obviously. They jab you.
of course. I would hope
but
so.
even though I don't feel the pain, you nothing can stop you feeling the vibrations of that drill in your skull. It's not a very comfortable situation.
Bad. The sound is awful, but the thing that gets to me is the smell of the smoke from the bone burning, going right up into your nostrils. That's the worst part for me. I can handle everything else. And again, thankfully, they numb you up pretty good. So
I made a hilarious joke because I try to lighten the mood. And so when the guy was like, all right, you're going to feel a little pinch, and he like jabs my mouth like 3 or 4 times with the needle. I put my hand, I was like, And he was like, oh, is everything okay? And I turned to the woman who's aiding him. I went, did you see? He just stabbed me. And they did their little polite, awkward laugh. And I was like, all right, I'm done. So I just started my podcast. I was like, crack on, son. Crack on. Do what you need to do.
That's all right. That's not worse than the joke I made before my colonoscopy. I was like, Doc, isn't there a better way to read my mind?
Sorry, I was a little bit late there with the sound effect. My bad.
You can edit that and it would sound much tighter.
I don't edit anything.
I know.
Because the problem is,
hurts every day.
With my mindset is that, I once I've finished, I want to get it done. I can't because even though, again, how the sausage is made, we record on Mondays, we release it on Wednesday. So in theory, I could spend all day with Tuesday
Yeah. But you
fine
also
tuning and editing this. But no, as soon as that download records, I have to edit it, get it uploaded to YouTube, upload to Spotify, and it's done. Which is great because it's a great work ethic, right? You know, I don't no sleep until this is done.
yeah, man.
However,
That's what I'm
the
all
problem
about.
is because we start recording this at 9 p.m. my time. By the time we've finished recording, typically, I'm a little bit fuzzy. Let's just put it that way.
Sure.
So
However,
I can't be.
here's my rebuttal to that: is you actively take notes with your timestamp, and you're running a clock right now. So
Yeah.
at the 5 minute mark, tighten up the spot between the joke and the drum beat, and then at the 5 minute 45 second mark, cut all that other bullshit out to this point here.
What a great joke, Kush. And that finely timed drum noise. Anyway,
That was amazing. Your skills on the board are impeccable.
speaking of which,
Ooh.
man on the boards, Lathan, how the devil are you?
Greetings, fellas. I'd just like to take this time to mention the unfortunate passing of the Iron Sheik. Now, who's going to keep that piece of shit Hulk Hogan in his place?
R.I.P. Iron Sheiky, baby. What an entertaining fella, not only in the wrestling ring, but also on social media. He will be missed. Yeah, all right. No love for that.
But seriously, Hulk Hogan is a racist. Fuck that guy.
So is the Sheik. But that's another thing. That's another story.
Anyway, yeah. R.I.P. Iron Sheik. I think to be fair, we've got a lot to cover tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Let's break it down.
So should we just crack in?
Man, I think we got to get into it.
Let's do it. Lathan, let's do some top stories.
Fuck yeah.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
You know, if I was really good at editing and maybe like graphic design, the perfect would be like when the top stories graphic comes up at that point where it goes bloop, we could have like a bubble dissolve. It goes bloop and it's back on the screen.
Yeah. Yes. Dude, the gears are working, dude. You're in there. You just don't want to do the work. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later in our movie review tonight.
Also, I would have to learn how to do that bubble design.
You can do that. Anyway.
Top story number one is, I don't know if you've seen this on social media, but the tinfoil hats are back out in an amazing abundance. So over here in the East Coast, I don't know if it made it over to the West Coast in the news, because I don't know if it was that big of a story. Maybe it was. But a small section of I-95 located in Pennsylvania collapsed.
Oh, shit. No.
Okay. So what happened was, so apparently, apparently what the cause was, right? So a gas tanker was driving under the section of I-95 through a tunnel.
Okay.
But it was on fire.
Oh.
And so the fire was pretty bad and just caused very much instability in this old bridge, I guess. And this section just went whoosh, crashed.
So was the truck like parked under the bridge? Like traffic was at a standstill and it couldn't go further? Or like did it just push through and then the bridge exploded?
No, well,
overpass.
From what I understand, or what I'm assuming, is the guy who was driving it realized pretty quick, this is a bad situation.
I would hope so.
I need to get the fuck out of here. So I guess he just left the truck there. And over time, the fire weakened it and all that stuff. Anyway, that happened, right?
Sure.
So I was like, oh wow, that's a pretty big story. Oh, interesting story. Let me move on with my day. However, as always, Twitter was like, no, we need to have some fun with this. So the conspiracy theorists out there now I was trying to say that it's the government that they planted the truck there, and that they did this on purpose, right? To which I asked several people, why? Why would they do this? To what benefit, right? And then I just got an influx of, like, oh, open your eyes, man. Wake up. Oh, yeah, go back to sleep. Trust your government, man. Like, no one could give me a clear answer of, like, why they thought. I know this is a pretty heavy thing to start with, but, why would it doesn't make any, like, any type of conspiracy theory. This is why, this can be, we can just repeat this clip every time there's a big conspiracy theory comes back out again. Just literally take 30 seconds of your time and go, okay, so the conspiracy theory is that, or the theory, I guess conspiracy theories just don't call their theories conspiracy theories, they just call them theories, right? Anyway, so once you hear this theory, take 30 seconds and go, all right, they say this group of people or this person is doing this. Does that make sense? Oh, no, it doesn't make sense. Move on. Okay,
yeah, fair.
Because I'm still annoyingly, this is like ruined the last couple of days where I'm still thinking about, like, why are these people still thinking about it? Like, I imagine like someone high up in the government, they didn't actually name anyone, so I don't know whether it's Joey B or maybe someone in the Philadelphia government or Pennsylvania government or whatever. I don't know, but at bet, like, are they thinking someone's sitting there in behind a chair, evil chair, with like the two dogs chained up because they're evil,
and the long oak table.
Oh yeah. And it's like each chair around the table has got like trap doors underneath them, so they've got a button. If they, if you disagree with me, push the button like Dr. Evil.
It's the same group of men that are controlling the NBA Finals. Miami Heat in 6.
Exactly, right? So at some point, so they're watching on the news, they're seeing this hat go down near Philadelphia, and he's like, my plan has come to fruition. Now, several hundred people are slightly inconvenienced because their daily commute has been extended by about an hour. I don't. What would be the point? I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, people is dumb.
People is dumb.
Yeah, like, that's IZ people. People, 2 E's, IZDUM.
Another one I saw was that so the Canadian wildfires.
Oh yeah, how'd that treat you?
It was very, very smoky. Very smoky.
Dramatic, I have to imagine. We had that out here in San Francisco a couple of years ago, if you might remember.
The most bizarre thing, because everything just from like Tuesday evening last week, Wednesday, Thursday, and that was pretty much it. But you just walk outside and it just smelled like burning wood. Like, sure. It smelled like someone had a fire in the next yard over. It was that strong of a smell.
I totally understand.
And it was like the whole world was like an Instagram filter, where it was kind of like this weird brownish orange hue. But what really freaked me out, because on Wednesday, I was driving. I was in a bus, but I was going from New Jersey to Manhattan to meet up with a friend at a bar to watch West Ham United successfully win the Europa Conference League. Yay, sports. And normally, so where I live, just to kind of give you an idea, where I live in New Jersey, Manhattan is there. There's the Hudson River that separates it. And literally, I just drive across, down the coast a little bit to the tunnel into Manhattan. And so you get normally a beautiful view of the Manhattan skyline. So it's like, especially at nighttime, looks fantastic, never gets old.
I bet.
But this time, where I was looking at my phone, as you do, looking on Twitter, trying to kill some time. And I look over, and the smoke was so thick, you couldn't not see a single building. Like, it was literally just a wall of smoke. No buildings could be seen. It's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that is crazy. Yeah.
And then that's when the conspiracy theories came out.
Funny.
Because again, so apparently someone was saying, I didn't read too much into it because again, it's all bollocks. But it's talking about like, some kind of nerve agent was probably being released by the government, to
That's
get people
exciting.
sick and to control the population, man, things like that. Right?
Sure.
So again, let's take 30 seconds to break that one down. So let's just say we know for a fact that the federal government is trying to control its population. Oh, it might be a bit more 30 seconds. By releasing this nerve agent into specific areas in the Northeast. If I'm doing that, let's say I'm the evil man at the end of the table with my 2 dogs chained up. If I'm going to do that, one, probably not going to give people a heads up. I'm probably not going to say, hey, the smoke from Canada is going to be coming down. So tomorrow, you should probably look that out for that.
Tilt your fans north, people. Everyone tilt your fans north. Blow it back at them.
And then I'm probably not going to say, you should, if you can, you should probably not go outside. Like, if I want people to get sick through the smoke, one, I'm catching them by surprise. Whoa, I didn't know. What the hell? This caught me off guard as well. But then I'll be like, but turns out it's fine. Go out. If anything, it's good for you. You should probably go out more. No, it doesn't make any sense. And it's just, so yeah, there's no real punchline to this, but it's 2 big conspiracy theories hit my area in the last couple of days, and it's just been driving me nuts. And this is my cathartic release, and now I'm hopefully be able to sleep. Maybe that's what caused the tension in my neck. Maybe now I spoke about it, I can relax.
Definitely didn't help your neck. So when we went through this in 2020, I want to say it was September or October. I believe it was October because it would have been drier. But fires are not a new thing here. So like you can, it's this weird thing where the light comes through the window and the cast a certain reflection, and you're like, oh my God, there's a fire somewhere. Like you can tell. I woke up around, I want to close to 6. So it would have been sunrise. And I went, all right, it's sunrise. And then I went back to bed, and then I woke up again at 8 a.m. and I went, there's no change in that light. Something's weird. And then I went back to bed again because it's literally the beginning of COVID. We're like 6 months in, and so I ain't going anywhere. Might as well go back to bed. Wake up at 10 a.m. No change. And at this point, like I step outside, I'm like, what is? Finally, we check the social medias and all that, and then oh my God, like everything in California is on fire, and that's where that, and you could smell it. And it was to the point where like I actually kept a fan in the bathroom on, so it would, like blow the smoke back out of the window.
Sure, it was smoke who's trying to get out, not your filthy fart stench.
In that case, it was the smoke. But
2 birds with 1 stone, though.
We keep the window just open for that. Anyways, yeah, that thing lasted for like 2 days to the point where, like, again, when you finally recognize what it is, just like, now what? What does this mean? Do we need to evacuate ourselves? And then finally, like after 3 days, like there was blue skies again. Also, rare that you get blue skies in San Francisco. It was like, okay, the worst is behind us now. Smoke was still in the air. You could still smell it.
It's because our mustaches, we need to wash them better.
Well, I like to shower every day, but I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Well, I'm glad you didn't evacuate because that's what they want. That's what the government want. They want to control you and displace you, and then they're going to do something with it.
Also, I think we followed 2 different Facebook feeds or social media feeds, because all I got was a bunch of comparisons to Blade Runner 2049, which was actually apt. I mean, after the 50th comparison, like I get it, but I was like, no, that's a fair comparison.
No, I don't go to Facebook for my Twitter. Twitter's way more fun.
Twitter, I mean, it was on Twitter too.
Much more crazy people on Twitter. But my Facebook feed's just full of like
much more crazy people on Twitter.
People that I met 20 years ago and haven't spoken to in 10 years, or family.
Yeah, that's
so
nice too.
it's pretty boring, my Facebook feed.
Same. As it should be.
Anyway, there you go. Don't believe. I don't believe you have to say this again, but don't believe everything you read on social media. It's ironically the people that call themselves critical thinkers don't do much of it.
Also, while we're on the subject of just it should be just common sense, before you leave the ATM, people wait for that window to pop up saying, "Do you want to make another transaction?" And if you do, make another transaction. But if you don't, say no, because apparently some dude is taking control of your passcode from behind you and is now stealing $200 at a time from you. At least out here in San Francisco, it's a whole thing.
I'm trying to think because I remember because I know for a fact if you say yes, I want to make another transaction, it asks for your PIN number again.
So there's this whole thing going on in San Francisco. That's why I know about this. So all the ATMs now are like, "Do you want to make another transaction after you've withdrawn?" Not an unfair question, and not a new question. I have multiple bank accounts because that's the kind of creep I am. Bank of America will ask me, "Do you want to make another transaction?" I hit yes. It insists I put the card back.
I was going to say, yeah, but I'm Bank of America. I think it's pretty good. It's got a pretty good system.
Yeah, put the card back in the slot. However, if you're a Chase member, and you do the touchless gimmick, and it says, "Do you want to make another transaction?" It might ask for your PIN number, but it will not ask you again for your card. And that's why the jabroni behind you has memorized your 4-digit PIN number, and that's why you're missing $200 out of your account. Also, shame on you, Chase, for making people wait for that. Also, part of the gimmick is they've put super glue in the card slot.
What, so, Chase?
No, the guy stealing money from your account. He puts super glue in the card slot so you can't stuff it in. So then he'll pop out of a corner. It's like, "Oh, I was just here a second ago. You have to do the touchless thing." And so they go, "Oh, okay, thank you." And they do the touchless thing, and then they do the transaction, and then they don't wait for the sign that says, "Do you want another transaction?" Where you would hit no. He comes right in immediately because it's like have you ever waited on that window? It goes for like 30 seconds. You're halfway up the block by the time
I've been pretty good.
Resets.
I'm very quick to say no. No means no.
I waited it out one time just to see what would happen. There was no one behind me. It didn't matter. There was nothing going on. That thing holds on for 30 seconds. That's enough time for you to be up the block and possibly down into the subway. So
shame on you, Chase.
Yeah. They reversed a couple of them, but it's only because the local ABC affiliate got involved and like documented everything, and it's just it's so weird. Also, they got surveillance cameras and like, yeah, we're not doing anything unless the cops give us a warrant. Fuck your $200.
Bastards. Anyway, speaking of
way off track.
Sorry. Yeah, but you kind of a segue-ish to our next story, which comes to us from Finland, where they have a very interesting way of dealing with motorists.
Oh.
Now, so if you get caught speeding, right?
Sure.
In Finland, I'm sure there are other things that you can get caught doing that this applies to, but for this story, in Finland, if you get a traffic ticket, your fine is based off of your current income.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. So what has I think it works.
This?
So I don't know.
Honest answer. Honest answer.
But Reason why this is funny is because a guy named Anders Wickloff, who is a native of the Åland Islands, which is an autonomous region of Finland, he was caught driving 50 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. Naughty, naughty.
Yeah,
So
it's a little excessive.
They found out what his daily income was. Maybe that's that they, you have to show up to court, maybe, and you have to provide that information. I don't know. But anyway, this guy, he is a chairman of a holding company that includes businesses in logistics, helicopter services, real estate, trade, and tourism. So he earns a little bit of money. He does well for himself.
That's a hell of a fine, I'm gathering.
So for his little excursion of where he was caught driving 20 miles per hour over the speed limit, he was fined the equivalent of, because I'm going to convert it from euros to dollars, he was fined $129,544.
Wow.
Do you know what the best part, this is like people with too much money. The best part is he was quoted after being fined nearly $130,000 for a speeding ticket. He was quoted as saying, "Yeah, I really regret that. I bet you do."
Wow. In some best case scenarios of a middle class family, that's 2 years' salary. Like,
Do you know what makes it even better?
No, please.
This is the third time that he has been caught speeding.
Oh, wow.
So adding this all together, he has been so far fined just over $300,000.
Yes.
Because he got fined a little bit less in 2018 and just a little bit. So I guess he's obviously, he's moving up in the world.
He's obviously ratherly successful. Yeah. Great problem to have. Except for the speeding violation. Stupid asshole.
If you're earning that much money, just hire a driver.
For $100,000,
Christ.
he could avoid all this by just having a driver. Like, that would also be a very well-paid driver. I don't think they make that much, but still. Jesus,
so basically, if you're unemployed, you have carte blanche to drive as fast as you like.
Ooh, that's a good loophole.
That is, it's interesting. Yeah, because some people's, they might only have. Did you say what the percentage was again, Mike?
I think if I remember correctly, it works out as 50% of your daily income.
50% of the daily income.
Yes. So
wow, that guy makes a lot of goddamn money.
So shall we work it out?
Yes.
So if he earns, so let's just, I'm going to assume it's like, let's just say it's a 5-day working day, 5-day working week. Let's just say it. So 130 grand times 2. So that's his daily rate times 5 for his weekly times 52. 67 million a year.
Yeah. By the way, this guy would be on salary, so he might make more, he might make less. But still, yeah. It's a drop in the bucket, but I feel like the Finnish are a little more realistic about these things. Like, oh no, like my dad didn't make $100,000 in his lifetime. Yeah.
Crazy.
Also, you think he'd learn after the first time with something like that.
Yeah.
And that's clearly why this isn't. But going back to what producer Lathan said, yeah. So 50% of your daily income. So if you're unemployed, you're probably not driving, but I don't know what the homeless rate of the Finns are.
No, but maybe if you're unemployed, maybe if you're driving to a job interview,
I feel like bikes are involved a lot.
Fuck it. Let's take advantage of
Finland. I feel like we got a lot of bicycle action happening in Finland.
They do like bikes. I'm sure. I know they're affecting that, obviously, in the Netherlands, they love their bikes. So I'm assuming, that kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
All very progressive and, love the environment and all that nonsense.
But yeah, some people would only, in theory, pay like $20.
Maybe I'm sure maybe there's like 50% of your daily rate or $200, whichever is
still
higher.
a dishwasher in any country. So they're, what do they make? $40 a day? If they're lucky. They're not getting tips. They're just washing dishes. Hopefully for less than 8 hours.
If you're only $40 a day, $20 is still just a lot of money.
That is, yes, it is. It's a lot of money.
So yeah, not that I feel sorry for this guy who obviously earns a lot of money, but again, word of advice: get a driver. Jesus, rather than giving your money to the government, which, as we've already covered, is out to get you.
Yeah.
So just take that money and give it to a driver.
I 1,000% agree with you. This guy should just have a driver. However, what if he does have a driver? It's just like, I just wanted to drive my car. This guy's always driving me. I just wanted to drive
with
my
that
car.
money, buy a racing track and go
50
nuts.
And a 30. There's probably little children involved in all that stuff. It's probably a residential area.
Will someone please think of the children?
Zach's cauldron. I thought they fucking closed that place down.
That's my favorite quote of The Simpsons ever.
I knew. That's why I finished it for you.
Appreciate it. Next story. This is one where I think Kush, our days are numbered. The male of the species.
Uh-oh. I'm a male.
So in Costa Rica.
Did women learn how to read? Are they driving now? What happened? Don't tell me they're voting.
Oh, don't. Anyway, so in Costa Rica, in a zoo, the first case has been found where a female crocodile impregnated herself.
Ooh. Interesting. Desire to know more intensifies.
Indeed. So she produced a fetus that was 99.9% genetically identical to herself. The phenomenon of so-called virgin birth has been found in species of birds, fish, and other reptiles, but never before in crocodiles. The scientists say the trait might be inherited from an evolutionary ancestor, so dinosaurs might have also been capable of self-reproduction. So, basically, the crocodile has been in captivity since she was 2 years old, and it was kept apart from other crocodiles for its entire life. So, they were a little bit surprised when she got pregnant. So
crocodiles are not lizards? I'm sorry, folks. I didn't do well in
reptiles. I don't know. I think lizards aren't
lizards reptiles?
Lizards are reptiles, and crocodiles are reptiles, but crocodiles aren't lizards. It's like we're mammals, but we're not the same as other mammals.
Yes, I understand that. But all right. Anyway, well, fascinating.
Yeah, if human women learn how to do this, we're fucked.
Yeah, you know what? Most women are not going out of their way to have an immaculate conception and then raise the child on their own. Most women. Not all women. There's some women who's like, I just need to have a baby. But even then, they still need help. So.
Mary is looking over at Joseph right now saying, see, I fucking told you.
She probably did.
I just got the whiff, right? So my window's open because it's hot, but it's raining outside. And I just got a skunk. There's a skunk outside, and I can stink it. Fuck me.
If it's not a skunk, it's a dude smoking very heavy indica weed.
I hope not, because why would there be a man in my backyard smoking that in the rain? That'd be kind of scary.
He's just on a little walkabout, just passing through.
Get the fuck out of my backyard.
I'm on my way out, man. Don't worry about it. I was just having a little
man.
Just having a little doobie.
Mama
Hayes thought our house was being sprayed by a skunk for 3 years while I was in high school.
Just walking in after school. It got me again.
Oh no! This is after this is after lights out. Like, it's dark. But she's like, that goddamn skunk is around here again.
Did she not wonder where you were?
She saw me come in and she's like, "Did that skunk catch you? Are you like? Is that why you came back?" Because she knew I was a cigarette smoker at the time. Which, by the way, I'm still underage. However, she wanted to believe what she wanted to believe. However, yeah, I'd be having a smoke and smoking a doobie at the same time. You burn the cigarette to mask the smell of the weed. Does it work? I don't know. That was 25 years ago, and everything's legal now, so who cares? Also, we have edibles. Good for you.
Anyway, final story. We're whizzing through this. Marine rescuers in England said that a paddleboarder came to the assistance of 3 men who had unfortunately drifted out to sea last week. The Royal National Lifeboat Institution's Appledore Station, which definitely sounds like something from Harry Potter, said that volunteers were conducting training exercises on Tuesday when they received word that 3 men had floated away from Westwood Ho Beach. Oh no. A friend in a kayak attempted to push them back to shore, but eventually the flotation device that they were on was seen more than 650 feet away from shore. Oh no. The RNLI said rescuers were still on their way to the scene when a man on a paddleboard ventured out to tow them back to the beach. That's just a nice story, right?
Yeah.
Why am I bringing this up?
Please.
Because imagine, if you will, put yourself in the position of one of these 3 men lost at sea, and then having to have the National Lifeboat Institution, basically a lifeguard, come out to help rescue you. And then you also have someone on a paddleboard coming to you, and then a kayak person all coming to you to save your day. Normally, you'd be quite happy about that situation. However, I would probably be wanting the ocean to open up and swallow me whole, because these 3 gentlemen were lost at sea on a giant inflatable duck.
It's only stupid if it doesn't work.
That's gotta be horrific. Like all fun and games on this big giant inflatable duck, and then oh fuck!
How far out to sea were they?
650 feet. So that's far. Like,
I mean,
110 of me. It's pretty. That helps. You laid me end to end 109 times.
I can't do the math on how many Olympic swimming pools that is. It's not very far out, but it is far out enough that they could drown. And you know what? I'm not a strong swimmer, so I don't care if it's a duck or a pig or a princess or a birthday cake or whatever. Like, if I can float on that sucker, more power to me. And thank you, Kayak Man. I appreciate you helping me out.
Yeah, so luckily the guy on the paddleboard was able to tow them and the duck back to the beach.
It's fucking strong, dude. Wow.
Yeah, enabled the 3 men to jump out and return to the beach. However, the inflatable was then blown back out to sea. I call bullshit on that bit. I don't think, because I'm pretty sure that was just like, I never want to see this fucking duck again. And they pushed it back out. It wasn't blown back out. They just wanted to destroy all evidence.
I see them getting onto the shore, unhooking the duck or whatever they did. That they disabled the tow, and then that sucker just flew out. Like, if it's anything like San Francisco's beach, like that shit gets windy, man. It's not the typical California beach you think of when you think of California. It's cold and it's windy and it's miserable unless it's one of those rare sunny days.
You should never work for the San Francisco Tourist Board. You do a
No, I
terrible
should
job.
not. You are correct.
Beautiful part of this story, though, which what I liked is just what you imagine happens
Everybody
next.
lived.
Well, yes, of course, yeah, the
A
happy
princess
ending in
married
that
him?
sense. But no, I just like to think that somewhere down the line, once this thing's been floating out there for a while, that someone maybe he's just floating out on his paddleboard again. Another gentleman, how they paddle themselves out and they kind of sit on it to kind of enjoy nature. And maybe he's had an edible or two.
I'm seeing it.
He's enjoying himself. And then all of a sudden, he sees this giant yellow duck bobbing its way towards him. So, oh my God. It's a mutant duck. And freaking the fuck out.
I don't think he'd have that much panic in his voice, but he would definitely be like, what the fuck is going on here? Again, the scenario is he's on edibles. Totally understand that. But if he's just floating out there and then he sees this duck just like float on by him, the duck's just floating, right? It's not being thrown across by the wind at this point. It's just
bobbing along
with the current. Yeah.
Minus business.
He's just like, yeah. He's oblivious to the accident that happened 650 feet offshore. But he's just like, so there's the duck, but where's the person for the duck? Yeah, that's what I'm envisioning here. But
maybe
this is me going with the whole motion of the ocean.
Where's your mama, giant
Where's
duck?
your mom?
Do you need? Oh, I hope you find your mom.
Probably, depending on how strong those edibles are.
I haven't been high for a long time. That was a terrible impression of a high person.
It's actually a very good impression of a high person. Like, there's a difference between you getting high and me getting high. I'm high right now, sir, and I'm pretty in control of things, considering all things. However, if you had the same amount of dosage that I had today, you would definitely be doing, where's the mama duck? What's going on? You would definitely be that guy. So I think your impression is apt, and I approve.
The last time, actually, no, it wasn't the last time, but the first time that I partook, I partaked. What's the right word? Partaked or
participated?
Participated. Yep, in some marijuana usage.
Sure.
Funny, it was weird. I had all my wits about me. Like I knew what was going on. I knew what it was.
Okay.
I knew where I was. Knew where I was going. Cool. I was just walking around town, enjoying it. However, it started raining, and again, I still had all my wits about me, but I was adamant that my force field was keeping me dry. I was just adamant I had a force field around me.
Okay. That's you know what that means? That's your self-conscious saying like you got some high self-esteem, dude, and that's a good thing.
Oh, I like that.
For you, I think that's a good thing.
So you basically what you're trying to say is that I'm egotistical.
You have an ego, but it's not a bad thing. And you don't abuse it. We've been doing this for 2 years, Mike Fish. I know.
I was going to say I can't really say ego, but I can't say I haven't got an ego when I've filmed myself and put myself on YouTube. You created
a podcast
twice a week.
You created 2 podcasts
for the last 2 years. Like a what's the word I'm trying to think of? A subtle man doesn't do that.
An insecure man doesn't do that.
There we go. So you look at that. You helped me finish my sentence. You big thesaurus hunk of a bastard. Anyway, let's move on. Let's wrap up the first half of this week's What Box, where men and people and things and items of the world that are achieving things with their life and not being rescued whilst being stuck on a giant duck. It's now time for this week's Dumb World Record of the Week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why?
Why?
Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
Stuck on a duck. This should be the title of this week's episode.
Stuck on a duck.
Stuck on a duck.
Then it shall be.
This week's Dumb World Record brings us to Bonnie, Scotland.
Woo. Faith McCoy.
Where,
No, sorry.
so this week's world record holder is a, quote, talented Cocker Spaniel, which is, for those untrained ears, that's a dog.
Sure.
So, this dog, the
Cocker Spaniel, is that French or what region is Cocker Spaniel? I know Poodle is French, but is Cocker Spaniel also French?
Sure.
Okay, honest answer.
No fucking idea. But anyway, this one's from
you're
Scotland.
the dog guy in
Anyway,
this group.
this one's from Scotland.
It's not a
I don't know,
Scotty
yeah,
Terrier.
my one's like half Datsun. I know that's German because I'm pretty sure Datsun's a German word. Did you know? Fun fact, right, a little bit because of the old what they want to say. They didn't want to use the, what's the word when a country's, say things, they lie about themselves to big themselves up, and propaganda. Boom, there we go. Thanks very much, Mike. But so during the World War, during the war,
The Great War or the Second War?
Second War, I believe it was the Second World
exciting.
War. But it might be the first.
The most documented war. Oh,
I don't know. Anyway, the point was when England had a beef with Germany,
fuck you, Germany.
they changed the name of the breed of the dog German Shepherd because they didn't want anyone saying, "Don't say German." So they renamed German Shepherds Alsatians, which to me sounds like a German word.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, again, no punishment. But there's a fun little fact. German Shepherds and Alsatians are the same dogs. It's just Alsatians are German Shepherds owned by someone who still holds a grudge against the Germans. Anyway, but this.
So can you get an Alsatian in Great Britain today, or is it still just called? Is it now just called a German Shepherd?
I'm sure if you go to a breeder, or I'm sure this is a German Shepherd now.
Okay, honest answer.
All about honesty. And this talented Cocker Spaniel in Scotland showed off his unusual skills and earned a Guinness World Record.
Okay. World record, that's right.
By using his mouth to deposit 23 coins into a piggy bank in 1 minute.
Wow. Is it doing one coin at a time?
Questions?
I mean, that's
no. Okay, so the dog doing that is incredible. It's like incredibly talented. Like, it takes.
Is it one coin at a time? And how far is it going?
So Emily Anderson of Aberdeen said it took about 2 years of training for her 4-year-old dog Leo to master the art of putting 10 pence coins into a piggy bank. Leo officially attempted the record for the most coins deposited into piggy bank by a dog in 1 minute in front of several witnesses at Logie Durno Village Hall. The canine managed to put 23 individual coins into the bank in the allotted time, beating the previous record of 18. So yes, one by one. Pretty impressive. If I saw a dog do that, I would be like, wow, that's a smart dog. But what's the dumb thing is that Emily spent 2 years of her life training her dog to put coins into a piggy bank.
The amount of time that Emily spent on this isn't making me laugh. Like, I'm just like, it only took you 2 years to figure this out. That's amazing. What is making me laugh is that Emily thought this was a record she should break with her dog. Yeah. And it was just like, fuck you. we're going for 23. All right.
And the record's only 18.
We want
23. We don't want anyone to beat this.
I mean, even you got 19 still, but like how this falls under the God damn it. I need to go through the Waffle Box archive and in this segment only create a new tag of where did we come up with this record? Like what made us decide we needed to create this record and then someone would break it? Right.
What?
I don't know how you would word that.
It's the time spent. It's just, if after like a couple of weeks, if my dog wasn't still able to pick up coins, I'd be like, oh well, never mind. Let's just move on with my life. 2 years.
Right. I mean, yeah. And like, did the dog do it right off the bat? Like, it just picked up one coin one day and dropped it in the piggy bank. And you're like, oh. We need to do this another 19 times. Can we do this 25 times?
Or was it 2 years of this dog just not fucking getting it, and eventually it finally picked up? She was like, yes, Jesus.
I mean, dogs are pretty trainable. I mean, it takes a while. Again, it's, well, at least from what I understand, they are. But yeah, like I want to know how long it took from this idea manifesting to the first coin dropping in the piggy bank. I want to know how much time that took. Because even if it's like 3 months, I'll be impressed. Like, this isn't a thing just dogs just do. No. And again, what is the distance? Natural. Because that is there's still a time limit on this. Like, is it just going 2 feet? Is it going 3 feet? Does it have to go a half a mile? Like, what is the measurement of distance?
If I had to guess, I'm sure the pile of coins is right next to it, so it's literally like pick up, move your head a bit, drop. I'm sure that's what it was.
Is it a pile of coins? Is it a stack of coins? Are the coins just all separated?
It would definitely be at least at the very least a pile, because if you stack them up, the minute that dog picks up the first coin, that stack's coming over.
The stack falls over for sure if you do it that way. But then do you just like, let's just separate the coins, everything, all 23 coins are flat and segregated?
Probably. I think we're putting too much thought into this.
These are the questions I have in this segment, Mike.
Well, Emily Anderson of Aberdeen, feel free to come on and explain yourself.
Please.
Hit me up at enjoywafflebox@gmail.com. Let us know when you're available.
No more intensifies. Second time I've said that tonight.
So there you go. Congratulations, I guess, to Leo, the Cocker Spaniel from Scotland, for being a Guinness World Record holder.
So over the past few weeks, we've found out that a llama can jump higher than me. A dog can organize coins better than me. What next? A sloth that can run faster than me?
Well, I guarantee that already. Yes.
But yeah, you haven't got, technically, you don't exist, so you don't have any legs. So.
Sick burn.
Sick burn. And you know what? He's not gonna come back for that, because I won't program a comeback. Anyway, still to come.
Sucks to be you.
Sucks to be you. Still to come on this week's Waffle Box. We've got a flaming hot movie review. Oh. Plus the feel-good story and all that good stuff. We'll be right back after this short break. So stick around.
Hi, I'm Nikolai Rostopovich, Russian defector. I'm going to school to become an American citizen. Also to learn all the wonderful things about this country. Not that I don't sometimes miss my homeland. Russia was like mother to me. She opened my mail, picked my friends, searched my room. I'm much happier now living with my Uncle Sam.
Discover what a country. New this fall.
Saturday at 6 on Channel 2.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle Box episode 102. Stuck on a duck. It's now time. It's the middle of the show, so it's perfect time if you ask me to play the middle of the show quiz.
That holds up. That's legit.
This week, so we normally celebrate someone's birthday. Unfortunately, today being Wednesday, the 14th of June, no one really that interesting was born on this day that's quizzable, if I was honest. Unless you... I did spot Boy George. Happy birthday, Boy George. Are you a big Boy George Culture
George.
Club kind of guy?
He's got his hits, and I appreciate the music he gave in the 80s. I don't know much about him, though. Very fascinating character, I imagine.
So we're not doing a quiz on him. So we're doing a special edition of the middle of the show quiz. We're doing a Death Day quiz, where on this day, June 14th, 1977, Alan Reed passed away, who was the original voice of Fred Flintstone. Yabba dabba doo. So I thought I'd put together a little Flintstones quiz. There we go.
Okay. I thought I'd do good in this one.
Well, these questions are pretty hard, so good luck. Let's see how confident you are in 5 questions' time. Are you ready?
Noted. I'm ready.
Let's get down to business.
Please.
Question numero uno.
Number 1. That's French.
Fred Flintstone was married to Wilma.
True.
But what was her, quote, hard-to-please mother's name? So what was Fred Flintstone's mother-in-law's name?
Velma?
No. Answer was Pearl Slaghoople.
What?
How did you
English?
that? Pearl Slaghoople.
Pearl Slag Hoople.
So Slaghoople was one word. That's a surname. So that was Wilma's maiden name, apparently. Wilma Slaghoople. I mean,
but her first name
woman's
is Pearl.
No, mate. First name is Pearl. Get it? Because it's
okay.
I guess minerals and shit. Anyway, question number 2. The Flintstones had a pet saber-toothed cat.
Oh yeah, they did.
What was the name of said cat?
That cat spent a lot of time in the background. I don't know how Dino got so much play, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a pun involved, but Toothy? Toothy the saber-tooth?
That would be a better name. The correct answer was Baby Puss.
Baby Puss. All right.
Yeah. So so far we've had a Baby Puss and a Slaghoople. Great names.
Oh my god. You did good on this one, Mike. I don't know that any of this shit.
So Fred and Wilma, they had some friends.
Mm-hmm.
Their names were Barney and Betty.
That is true.
But those, my friend, were nicknames. Ooh.
What?
Oh.
No.
What was the actual names of Barney and Betty from next door? I think they lived next door, right? If I remember correctly.
They did live next door. I'm gonna guess Bernard is short for Bernie, or long for Bernie. Betty. Probably gonna be something stupid like Maggie. I've got an aunt named Betty, but yeah, she doesn't have a nickname. She doesn't have a formal name. It's Ben Betty.
Well, I'm gonna play 2 jingles because you got one right. Barney's name was Bernard.
Okay.
Betty's name was Elizabeth. Get it? Elizabeth. Betty.
Sure.
So you're so far. You
got half a point.
You got half a point. So you need to get these next 2 at least save face. And then maybe we'll play a tiebreaker if you get the next 2. I'll make up a next question.
Okay.
This one actually might be these ones actually might be a little bit easier, so you never know. Ooh, could be a tiebreaker. Question number 4.
Break it through.
Fred and Wilma had one daughter. What was their daughter's name?
Pebbles. I'm the greatest Flintstones historian ever.
And in question number 5, who played Fred Flintstone in the Oscar-winning 1994 live-action movie?
Oh, John Goodman.
Ooh! So we're at 2.5. 2.5.
2.5. Dig it.
All right, what's this? Right, so I got,
we got. I mean, it's not necessarily a tie, but we got a tiebreaker.
Yeah, let's go with. By the
way, I'm grateful that you went with the original Flintstones and not Viva Las Vegas, because I wouldn't know who that was.
Was it
Viva
he's a good actor. Or was it Viva the Bedrock or whatever it was?
No. There's the Flintstones movie, and then there's the Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas.
Viva Rock Vegas. There we go. There it is. I knew there was a pun in there somewhere. Right. Do I be
Halle
a
Berry
dick?
though plays Sharon Stone.
Right. I have a conundrum here. Do I be a dick and give you a really hard question, or make it slightly easier?
Flip a coin. Go to the coin of destiny, Mike Fish.
Can't be bothered. I'll just do each one. Name for the tiebreaker. Name Fred and Barney's boss.
Oh hell. I keep coming to Spaceless Mr. It's obviously Mr. Damn. I don't know. Kyle MacLachlan played him in the movie though. And he's been in every cartoon ever since. He always fires Flintstone. Flintstone, you're fired. Damn. I don't know. Final answer. I don't know.
Lose. It was Mr. Slate.
Mr. Slate, of course.
When I was doing the research on this, I found obviously there is a theme running through a lot of the names in the Flintstones. So obviously, you have Flintstone, Rubble, Barney Rubble,
Bedrock.
This is like one of the greatest porn star names features in the Flintstones, because Fred has an uncle apparently called Tex Hardrock, which is a great porn star name. Then there's Fred and Barney's boss is George Slate. Which is Slate.
George Slate.
Slate. Fred and Barney, they have a mutual friend called Joe Rockhead.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I guess who, like the creator of Flintstones, just kind of got bored and ran out of ideas because the paper boy's name's Arnold. Like, he just couldn't even be bothered. Yep, that'll do. Arnold.
So the Flintstones have had several resurrections, and in the 90s they got a couple of made for ABC mini television movies. They're 90 minutes, whatever, even with commercials. And at one point, like, the folks are getting ready for Pebbles and Bam Bam's wedding, and then Barney just for whatever was like, hey, there's a lot to worry about with kids today. Drive-by stonings and all. Like, this was the mid-90s. I was talking about drive-by shootings, which probably don't happen that much in the suburbs, but still a thing in the world of the Flintstones. So,
kids grow up so fast. Anyway,
Indeed.
it's kind of weird. Anyways, yeah, so they got married. Segue. So they must have gone on a date at some point. Oh, speaking of dates, it's now time to help out those budding lovers in the universe with this week's Trapdoor segment. This week we stumble across the letter K. If it's your first time watching or listening, Trapdoor segment is I give Kush 4 different options of a certain topic, and he has to pick out which one gets sent down the trapdoor and sent into oblivion.
Oh my goodness.
This current theme we're working through is date night ideas. So remember, these date night ideas has to be the first, second, or third date. So still the getting to know you phase, doesn't count if you're married, because then, anything's a successful day at that point. Who cares? But here we go. So 4 dating first, second, or third date ideas, beginning with the letter K. Couches. Option number 1. A night at the karaoke. We'll sing a song. Option number 2. Kayaking. Now, I know you don't like the water, but try to keep your prejudice out, kayaking. Number 3, kite flying. Or if you fancy a little bit of grub, option number 4 is showing off your cooking skills at the Korean barbecue spot. Ooh. So karaoke, kayaking, kite flying, or Korean barbecue. Which one of those is the worst and should be stricken from the record so no one will ever have the misfortune to take out their date on such an event?
Well, I'm not going to get rid of karaoke, despite the fact that I do a podcast on YouTube, on video, and am nervous always. Yeah, oh yeah. There's a rumor out there that I do that.
I have to check it out. You have to let me know about it.
Yeah, man. Despite how many times I've actually gone to karaoke night with some friends, and sometimes there's a whole crowd. Sometimes we're in an isolated booth. Only one time did I have the courage to just do some Guns N' Roses. But then for whatever reason, at a comic book convention in San Jose, where I was part of a rock band, video game rock band, I was able to do Aerosmith, and despite how awful I sang, I still got through it.
What Aerosmith songs?
Yes. We're not out limiting karaoke. Kayaking. I'm not a strong swimmer. I definitely wouldn't be doing kayaking.
Well, don't fall out the fucking kayak then.
But sometimes that thing flips over. I don't know how to flip back up. I don't want to be in the river anyways. All right, just let me sit on the side. Let me smoke a joint. Let me keep the fire going. Maybe I'll do some barbecue. You guys are gonna love it, but don't put me in the water.
I appreciate for this exercise, I'm asking your opinion, but if you use your prejudice this much on it, by the time we get to the letter Z, no one will be able to go into the water ever again. And then what's going to happen? All the wildlife is going to spew up, and then all of a sudden there'll be sharks everywhere. And because they have no natural predator, they'll get overconfident, and then they'll grow legs, and then they'll come onto the land, and you'll have sharks chasing innocent people down the street. Do you want to see? Did you want that? Do you want that?
Look, I know there are Olympic caliber swimmers out there, but if the good Lord out there wanted us to be in the water, he'd have given us fins and gills and all that good shit. And no, we weren't meant to go be kayaking. So, but still, kayaking is not off the list.
Okay.
All right. If you're a strong kayaker, go do that shit. Kite flying seems kind of benign. Seems kind of vanilla. Seems kind of just like, who the fuck does that? But I actually had a good to decent relationship from kite flying one time. Wasn't even like planned. I was just like, oh, hey, you're flying a kite. Let me help you. Hey, you want to do this thing in 5 months? Let's go do this thing in 5 months. And then we had our date in 5 months. And you know what? Went on another 5 months. It was pretty great. And then the pandemic happened and shit just went south.
And she died.
You know, she died. R.I.P. Jackie. So that brings us to Korean barbecue. I love Korean food. I love barbecue. What I don't like is spending $100 for a quantity of 6 for food that I have to cook myself. So Korean barbecue. I'm sure it's different in Korea, but this is a
they just call
carny
it
hustle.
barbecue.
I'm sure they call it barbecue, but I'm also sure they cook it for you. So this is some carny bullshit, and you know, for coming from a carny world, I'm not falling for it. So
This is called Korean barbecue carny.
yes, I did. It's a gimmick. It's all a gimmick. If you have to cook it yourself and pay that much,
well,
you
it
don't
depends
need to
where
be
you
there.
go. Oh, if ever you come over this neck of the woods, go to a nice all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue place. You can rinse them dry.
They cook it for you, then that's
No.
just the spot. Oh,
No, but the fun is I cook it. That is the fun.
Korean barbecue. Goodbye.
Wow.
You fucking trying to flip that shit on me and then still make the same argument? No,
Well, whatever. We've already
we're not doing
specified this is only first, second, or third date, so I can still go to Korean barbecue with my wife. Thankfully.
You can still go to Korean bar. I hope you, dude. You can still buy some wagyu, which I think is Japanese. However, you can get all those Korean spices and do that shit at home for Mrs. Pisces. And she would be like, "Oh shit, Mike, I didn't know you had that in you. That's amazing."
Whoa. Do you want it in you? Whoa. Anyway.
I'm not saying anything else to respect your marriage.
Anyway, let's talk about another activity that you can do on a date, which is, you know, go to the movies. And we are going to talk about a movie now that this is one of those rare occasions. This is like one of those, what they call it, the unicorn of movie reviews, of Kush's movie reviews, because this is probably out of the 102 episodes of this podcast, this is maybe the fourth or fifth time that I've actually watched the movie you're about to review. So it's exciting. It's that time.
Yeah, that's still true.
Movie review.
Kush's movie review.
Have you ever wondered, this Flamin Hot Cheetos is a lovely snack. I wonder how this snack came to be. If only there was a feature film that was on Hulu for me to learn about its creation. Well, you're in luck, because you can go to Hulu right now and watch a movie called Flamin Hot, starring some people and directed by Eva Longoria. See, I remember the name this time. Flamin Hot. Kush, take it away and I'll chime in whenever.
Yeah, man. So I definitely, this is like the 5th time you and I have seen a movie that I'm reviewing. But I also think this is the 5th time we've just had a movie on streaming. So it's one of those reviews. This is still collecting a PG-13 rating. It is 1 hour and 39 minutes. And because it's Hulu, it has 3 commercial breaks, which I'm not a fan of, but whatever. As you said, Mike Fish, this is Eva Longoria's directorial feature debut. I know her name. I don't know what I've seen her in.
Desperate Housewives.
I don't even know if I've. What'd you say?
Desperate Housewives.
Never watched it.
She was the Latina MILF on Desperate Housewives.
Okay.
Oh my good lord.
You know, scratch that. I saw one episode of Desperate Housewives. It was in that very first season where the buzz was very hot. I watched it and I went, for as much sex is promised in this show, this should have been on HBO. This is some bullshit. It's not a good show. And then it did 4 seasons and then lost one on for another 3. So, but who cares?
Also,
this is written
in the
by.
year 2000,
Oh.
she did famously play flight attendant number 3 on an episode of Beverly Hills 90210. Does that help? Does that help?
Okay. Does not help, but okay. I appreciate you. You at least went back into her history.
I'm trying.
Promising. Guess this is written by Louis Colick and Linda Chavez. It is based on a book by Richard Montanez, who is the subject of this film. His book is called A Boy, a Burrito, and a Cookie, from Janitor to Executive. And Jesse Garcia plays Richard. Annie Gonzalez plays Judy. And Dennis Haysbert plays Clarence Charisma Jones. I forget his last name. I didn't write it down. My bad. This is a great movie. It's at least a good movie. I wish it got a theatrical release. I don't know why they decided to just let it go to Hulu. I feel like they discounted it a bit. I appreciate the 1 hour and 43 minutes it is. Hated the commercial breaks. But this is a movie about a guy, like, he had his troubles in the past. He has a unique situation upon his upbringing. But once he found, purpose, he's got a wife, Judy. She's pregnant. They eventually have 2 kids. He's like, I can't be gangbanging. I can't be fucking selling drugs on the street. I can't keep going to jail, which he has a record. He never graduated high school. Like, he's painted in the corner, but that doesn't stop him at all. He keeps pushing forward. He doesn't take no for an answer. When people say, like, these are the boundaries, man, like, we're the bottom of the bunch. Those are the engineers. Those are the managers. Those are the guys who actually, like, are executives. And up there, those are the guys who answer to the guys who answer to the guys. He's just like, I'm going to talk to the smartest guy here, and I'm going to ask for advice. Like, he doesn't take shit for granted. Most folks, I think, would turn their nose up at working for Frito-Lay. And I think in this movie, most folks turn their nose up for working at Frito-Lay. However, he's just like, this is an opportunity. This is me being able to support my family, my wife, my 2 kids. We're raising everybody in Southern California. Things are expensive, blah, 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 blah. Takes 10 years for him to finally, like, find his mark. Like, he goes out of his way to learn everything. On his day off, he comes in and learns how the product is distributed by just hanging out with the drivers. Every other day, he comes in an hour early, learns how this machine works, learns what that guy does. What do you do up there? I would like to know more. The message of this movie is, you can be a hard worker, but there's always more work to do. Be the best that you can. Learn everything. Like, things. This is a historical drama, so there are times where we talk about, like, oh yeah, Reagan was in office and then everybody was broke. When Bush was elected, the original Bush, not the son of Bush, we still went to war, and that affected things. Like, at one point, the plant is getting ready to close, and then that's when he finally comes up with the idea of, like, what if we made Cheetos spicier? Like, and guess what? That family doesn't ask for permission. They just start making their own formula until they get it right, and it takes weeks to months of their own money to make this thing. So, eventually, they figure out the formula. They get in touch with the CEO of Pepsi, who owns Frito-Lay, and it goes on from there. But this is a fantastic movie. Ava Longoria tells a story that needs to be told. Other than the 3 commercial breaks, my biggest complaint is they take that gimmick from Ant-Man, where Michael Pena is explaining to everybody in his voice, but you see like white people talking like Orale Holmes, and then blah, 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 and blah blah blah, like they're talking with Michael Pena's voice.
It was
They do
very
that a
funny.
couple times. It's funny in Ant-Man. It can be funny in this movie, but once they break rule of three, I'm just done with it. Like we get it. Um, However, having said that, I think this guy has an incredible story. I think everybody should see this movie. It's a very strong 4 out of 5. Um, this is like one of the most great American stories that has been created. This guy started from nothing, came from nothing, was at the bottom of the totem pole, was told, not only can you not do this, but don't do this. And then he just did it and made it work. Like this is the dream, dude. So I Kush Hayes' digestive system cannot stomach flaming hot anything. But god damn it, man. I love a success story, and this is one of the best success stories out there, maybe since The Founder with Michael Keaton about McDonald's.
Well, at least this one has a happier ending than The Founder.
The Founder screwed over a lot of people in that, for sure, for sure, for sure. But this, yeah, this dude did it. And yeah, man, everyone should fucking take an example from this, man. Like, as hard as we work, we can always be working harder.
And
Don't
give up.
settle
Don't give
for
up
what
too
your
easy.
level is. Don't give up too easy or ever. Like this guy went 10 years. Some folks give up after a week. Some folks give up after 2 years.
3. But no, I was just
3,
saying
5.
before we hit recording, I was saying so, 'cause obviously I was watching, this was on Hulu, so I was like, oh, I'll watch this movie.
Cool.
Just so I can have some insights on it, maybe. But yeah, I just put it on, and yeah, I could be forgiven, as I said to Kush before the recording, but I could be forgiven for thinking that a biopic about the guy that came up with the idea of Flamin Hot Cheetos that goes straight to Hulu, probably not going to be like the most pivotal movie that I see in my lifetime. But then I got about that 20 minutes in, and it's like this is a very well done movie. Like,
Yeah,
shout out to not only the actors, it was very well acted, but also just everything around it. I guess the script was very good, the directing was very. It was just a very tight movie. It was a very good movie. So I was like, actually, you know what? No, rather than just having this on, I'm going to stop this and I come back to this, start it again. I'm actually going to focus on this because I'm glad that I did, because there were moments, as always, when it comes to these kind of biopics, where there was some exaggeration, where all the kind of Sylvester Stallone Rocky type inspirational speeches and the moments of when he's like telling his wife, I hope you understand, there would be no me without you. And I'm like, oh my god, she did stand by him. Oh my god. And it's beautiful. But and then as the credits roll and they show pictures of the real him and his family, and it's an adorable story. I'm sure if I did some research, I'm sure I'd find some inaccuracies to this, and it kind of deflate my love of this story. So I'm not going to bother. As far as I'm concerned, this story is this is a documentary, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to sleep well because of it.
People like to drag people through the mud. And while this isn't like a blockbuster, this isn't getting a major theatrical release, which is kind of disappointing. It should at least get a minor theatrical release. I know there was some promotion here in San Francisco that I couldn't make, but still, like this is a very well told family story. Like the guy is just all about his wife. He's all about his family. He did some bad stuff back in the day, but he learned from his mistakes. He then went on. He wanted to be better at his job. And when he mastered his job, he wanted to be as good, if not better, at other people's jobs. And like I don't like coming in early. I don't like staying late. I just don't. And while I would like to learn other people's craft, there's only so much time in the day for me, and I don't even have kids or a wife. All right, but this guy is just like, no, it's my day off. I gotta learn how the bags are set out in the fucking convenience store. All right, like,
Yeah, that
so
was
much
weird when
can
he
be
was
learned
helping deliver
from this movie.
the produce.
That's right. So much
But
can be learned from this. So much should be inspired from this. This was a fantastic story. Um, of the 4 movies about industry this year, that is Tetris. We definitely reviewed that. We talked about Air. We're now talking about Flamin' Hot. The only thing we haven't seen is Blackberry, which is the story of the Blackberry phone. And
sure, that's
that just
crazy.
never made it to our fucking Cineplex, our 12 screen Cineplex. So
it's not even.
shame on
I don't
you,
understand how
indies.
that, because I appreciate that the BlackBerry was a very big icon. A lot of
Yes, it
people had
was.
that was a huge thing. But like with like just the internet. Oh, hey, do you ever hear the story about how Flamin' Hot Cheetos was created? No, that's actually interesting. I want to hear about that. Oh, did you ever hear the story about Michael Jordan got his Nike deal? Oh, no, that sounds interesting. Did you ever hear the crazy story about how these guys got the rights, or so they thought, from Russia, from Tetris, and now that? Oh no, tell me more. And then, oh, did you ever hear? Do you want to hear the story about how BlackBerry was created?
I do actually.
I'm all right. I think it doesn't sound sexy to me, but there you go.
It's all how you present it. When the Tetris movie was announced, and they're also like, we think we could make this a trilogy. Fuck you.
Wait, they
people
thought they could
didn't
make
know
that a
what that meant.
trilogy?
That was in the press release. Yes, sir.
Oh no, that's too much.
But we didn't know what that meant. We also had a thing called the Emoji movie. Okay,
Oof.
we had the Angry Birds movie. We had the Emoji movie. We're like, so are the blocks characters? Like, you didn't know what to make of that. But when it was like, oh no, it's actually the story about how the fucking game was created and produced. That's a story. That's a story. All right. If we could create a story about how my boots were created, that's a story. But everything is all in the promotion. So, however, Flamin' Hot, the story of how the Flamin' Hot Cheeto was created, 4 out of 5. It is a fantastic story. It's a perfect American story. Again, we came from nowhere. Now we're millionaires. And it took a goddamn long while to get there. But we didn't stop. And then we made it. Like, don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on ideas. Try to figure shit out. Try to be better. You might slip every now and then, but be better. That's
And
what makes
may
this
I
movie
say,
great.
what makes this movie great for me was, one, the running time is fantastic.
The running time is
2,
awesome.
and the pacing of the movie is fantastic. In that
It's very tight. It's very fast. It's
you
very
get
limber.
enough.
And you can still figure out what's going on.
It's not too depressing in the beginning, but it's done enough. Like there's enough for you to go, oh Jesus, this guy, oh, he's in a hard way, but it doesn't drag it out too much. Like Pursuit of Happiness.
This movie does start with this man being beaten as a kid, but it is just one time, and we just go forward, and we know that happened, and it is probably happening his entire life until X point. Yeah.
But I'm pretty Pursuit of Happiness. That was a true story, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a horribly paced movie, because it was just, all I just remember was, oh, something's bad happening. Oh God, this is depressing. Oh my God, this is so depressing. Oh my God, this is depressing. Oh my God, this is depressing. Oh my God, this is depressing. Oh, happy ending. Credits. It was like too much. Oh, jeez. I just left the theater with
You
a black
might have to
cloud over
visit.
me.
You might have to visit San Francisco and then appreciate that movie. Maybe I'm biased. I didn't see it in the theater. I would finally
Oh,
see it
I
on like
did.
cable or whatever it was. Oh, all right. Well, it's a long movie to sit through, and yes, it is
We had
incredibly
plans
depressing.
on going out after that movie, but after that, no, it was just it was me and the fellas. We was gonna go grab a
Sure.
drink.
Oh, the boys went out on this?
Yeah,
Oh
that was a
no.
boys' night out. Yeah, and so by the end of the movie, we were just like, no, I just want to go home and cry myself
I
to
mean,
sleep. Jesus.
that's the date movie you take out with a chick who's like, you want to hear this 17th poem I did about death? that's that's who you take that movie to. You don't take the boys to see that movie. And knowing you, like, they're all like football hooligans. Probably not, but that's the picture I'm going to create anyways. And you don't want to go see this movie with the boys, is what I'm saying for sure.
No, it was we all regretted it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Did they ever let you pick another movie after that?
Oh no, I didn't. I know that was I didn't pick the
Oh,
movie.
you didn't pick it.
No, I don't know.
Who picked it?
Well, I mean,
You don't have to name his name.
Yeah,
But who
say
picked it?
I could literally make a name up, and you had no idea. But yeah, a friend of
Make a
mine,
name up.
Rudiger.
Did Ralliger get to pick another movie after that?
Yes, because he
Oh,
was the only
very
one.
liberal.
He drove. So it was like
Yo soy
yeah,
comprende.
I mean I could pick a movie, but then I could get a taxi. Nah, fuck that. Sure, Rudiger wants to watch
Yo
this
soy
movie.
comprende.
Sounds good to me. But yeah, but this no, yeah, Flamin' Hot, fantastic pacing, well told.
It's
Eva
very good.
Longoria,
I'm looking forward to Eva
hats
Longoria's
off.
next movie.
Very well done, and yeah, everyone was very fantastic in it. I think the lead, which
He's fun.
you did mention. Oh, now I've got the names up again.
His name is
Jesse Garcia.
Garcia. Sure.
Jesse Garcia, fantastic in his role. Annie Gonzalez, fantastic. Also, not bad looking.
Oh yeah, she is not an ugly woman by any means. She is very attractive.
And Dennis Haysbert as Clarence C. Baker. There we go. That was it. Baker. That was his last name.
Mr. Baker.
Very good. And they're all good. But yeah, Annie Gonzalez. Give me a call.
Oh, you're a big fan of the Miss Amy Gonzalez. All right. Yeah. I'm not mad at that. She's got a couple looks over that movie. Like, I want to say she has 4 or 5 looks when she's Amy Gonzalez, not her adolescent counterpart.
Want to see my flaming hot Cheeto?
Rude.
Yeah. No, don't. Yeah, that's. I think it's the first and last time I'm ever going to refer to my penis as a flaming hot Cheeto.
This will be the moment you want to edit it out.
Yeah. Anyway, 4 to 5, Flamin' Hot. Check it out on Hulu. Let's wrap up this week's show as always. Let's give ourselves the warm and fuzzies as we end the show on this week's feel-good story of the week.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel-good story turns out exercise might be good for you. So this isn't like a good deed. This isn't normally do a good deed and good. I think this is just good news, good story. So because new studies suggest that for cancer patients, staying active by walking 30 minutes a day and doing yoga can help reduce fatigue and lower the risk of the disease spreading, returning, or being fatal. At the annual meeting of the American Society of Clinical Oncology, 3 studies were presented that looked at the role of exercise in the lives of cancer patients. The largest was a randomized control study of more than 500 U.S. cancer patients with an average age of 56, which was led by the University of Rochester Medical Center. The patients who received cancer treatment between 2 months and 5 years before the start of the study were split into groups, with one practicing yoga and the other attending health education classes. A blood work was taken at the end of the study and showed that those who did yoga had significantly lower levels of pro-inflammatory markers, which, if you know anything about cancer, those are the bad. You don't want pro-inflammatory markers compared to the participants in the other group. So there you go. Unfortunately, we're still no closer, apparently, to curing cancer, which the problem, I think we've mentioned this before, but the problem with cancer is there is no such thing as cancer. It's just kind of like an umbrella term of a bunch of really shitty diseases or whatever they're called. But yeah, slowly working out how we can help people from dying. And so we do. And even though I don't like staying active, I must admit, like, have you ever done yoga? Are you a yoga person? Are you a yogi?
I'm not a yogi. I've done yoga once. I did the yoga twice. Excuse me. I worked at a Crunch Fitness. They said, Kush, you have to take class. Do I? Yes. Okay, I will. I'll take basic yoga. I took 2 classes. A lot of good, dude. And like I've got back problems, lower back problems, and
you and me both.
Those 2 weeks, dude, were fucking fantastic. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't go back for a 3rd week, but yeah, on day 7, back is feeling fantastic. Oh my god, look, everything is awesome. Day 8, everything's tight again. I don't know why this is happening. We'll get through
I did yoga once, and it was
yoga again.
Incredible. Like, it was the most bizarre thing ever, because like I felt after the class, I felt equal measures of exhaustion, but yet I felt so energized at the same time. It was a very bizarre feeling. So
I was in a weird predicament where on both classes that I went to, there was an attractive lady with an attractive body. Her ankle was all the way back here, but my nose was right here from her hoo-ha. And I'm like, the class is full. The class is very full. And maybe I should just turn to the fucking right. I don't know. But that's how it went. And I looked around and other folks were in that predicament too. But I just like, this is gonna be bad for me if I keep this up. So
it's a great story.
It is a good story. I mean, it could probably be better, but Jesus Christ, like, I'm not a fan of it.
Coming summer 2024 to Hulu. Kush, nose in a hoo-ha. No, I would love to do yoga on a regular basis, but my only problem is I think yoga makes you feel good. Yoga is very good for your body. There's many health benefits, plus, such as this. But I tend to find, so I'll keep this between me and you, right?
It's just 2 of us here, no one else.
Yoga instructors tend to be really fucking annoying.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, no. I'll let me rephrase that, because that's unfair. They are not. I find them. There we go.
Yeah.
Let me put the onus on me. There we go. It's my.
I still understand.
I find them annoying.
So always cheerful, over the top, boisterous. Like, this is going to be the best day since the last best day.
And you
I
can
understand.
tell the ones that are just like faking it, I guess, because they just overuse the word namaste. Oh, fuck off.
Well, I mean, we're doing yoga. Why would it say no?
That as soon as you walk in,
Unless
oh,
I say namaste.
namaste, namaste.
Namaste. You gotta stretch that.
And they go, yeah, there you go. So there you go. Yoga's good for you. Just
Yoga is good for you.
Just
I believe in
download
it.
some videos of like Google or DDP yoga. He still does.
There's plenty of YouTube videos out there. You'll find the right one that is good for you.
But I highly recommend DDP yoga. Do that.
DDP yoga has changed many people's lives for the positive.
Indeed, it has. So there
But
you go.
I think he's just doing yoga and giving it masculine names. Which, whatever.
I remember
works.
at one point because before it was called DDP yoga, I think it was called. It was like not your mama's yoga or something like that.
I'm sure they are the same program.
Oh, it's the same program, but
videos.
I'm. It was a wise choice to rebrand it as DDP yoga, but there you go.
Yes.
On that note, that brings us to the close. Episode 102.
His shoulders are gonna fall off.
Going up in the next 7 days. Are you doing any other audio podcasts on the Bosnet family?
We just had Tommy Nisbet on the Microdose last week. He's talking about ghosts, spooks, and specters in San Francisco. He's from the SF Ghost Society. It's a fascinating podcast. I wish we went longer, but I gotta edit that shit, so we capped it. Next week, Steven Steinbacher is coming back to the show, and we're gonna talk about our favoriteest movies of the past 6 months. There's only 3 of them for each of us, and you'll be surprised at what we liked.
Go to bosnet.family. Check those out.
Bosnet.family. Thank you.
Or just search Microdose on your favorite podcast app. What day is it? It's Wednesday. So yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, you can go back to listen to yesterday's episode of Claret and Big Blue with myself and Alex Middleton at CBB Pod on social media. We're celebrating West Ham, as I say, becoming UEFA Europa Conference League champions. There we go. Jesus. And then we're taking a quick summer break. So yeah, go to that CBB Pod on all your socials. Make sure you follow us at WaffleboxPod, enjoy wafflebox.com and all that good stuff. I'm at Only Mike Fish. He is Kush_Hayes. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks.